rotation right off the start. So anyway, did you know that was available, VE3 VAV in Shelburne? Available for you? Dave must have stepped away there. VK4 FMTH. Paul, obviously you probably knew all about that, right?
V3WWM, VK4 FMTH. No, I didn't, Wayne. I didn't know about that. I think Alan was saying it's mostly to do with YSF and D-Star, so I don't have either of those. Yeah, I wasn't available, so learn something new every day, which is good. And one day, if I get D-Star or YSF, I'll get up to speed with that, I suppose. And yeah, like Alan said, if DMR get up to speed with that, then it'll be make life easy. I suppose if you're on the computer, you can. I think that's what Alan said. It's a computer thing. You'll be able to just jump through them pretty easy. Over. Back to you, Wayne. V3WWM, VK4FNTH.
Well, thanks, Paul. No problem at all. So we'll go down and ask Dean if he knew about that. There is options in your Pi-Star to do some of those stuff, and I don't like you're coming on DMR anyway, so I don't think it really relates to you unless you're going to come in one of the other modes. But I'll ask the question anyway, just if you knew about it, then that's good. In case you ever change modes, go ahead. VE3DOB, VE3WWM.
No, I did not know about that. So far, all I've figured out is how to switch rooms in DMR. So, but always nice to hear something new. V5 DOB.
Very good, Dean. No problem at all. Anyway, we'll just ask again. Brian, I guess, must have come in there. I didn't see his call sign up. He was right at the very start here, so he was ahead of the Dave. So VE3 VWP, Brian, are you on here? Did you want to check in here? No, I guess not right now. Anyway, we are going to be moving on, so we're going to move on to Pennsylvania. We'll be moving on in a minute or two here to XLX 045A or DCS 058A or XRF. It's the same 045A. 045A. Can't speak tonight. Anyway, talk group 31425 or YSF room 06864. So anyway, is there any more check-ins for the net here? Please come now.
KD7 Mike Whiskey, Peter in Shoreline, Washington.
Net control recognizes KD7 MW. Is there any more coming checking in there? Please come now. Okay, we had a 4X1 VL come in there, but your audio didn't come through very well, but just try it again there.
Anyone is listening, this is 4 X-ray 1 Victor Lima from Israel, 4 X-ray 1 Victor Lima calling and standing by.
Very good, David. We'll just take another check-in here first. If there's any more check-ins, please come now. We'll get back to you there, David.
VK3 TDS, VK3 Tango Bravo 0. Anyone is listening, this is 4 X-ray 1 Victor Lima. 4 X-ray 1 Victor Lima calling and standing by.
Very good. So we're going to go to the top of the list here, David. 4X1VL. Maybe we'll go to you first, David. Peter, I hope you'll be all right with that. VX1VL from Tel Aviv. Come on in here. VX1VL. Sorry, I can't even read that. I'm reading it and I'm not. 4X1VL. Please come in there. The name's Wayne on this end. Call signs VE3WWM. Okay, you're not coming in there, so we'll go back to KD7MW. Peter, thanks for checking into the net here. The question we're asking tonight, we're asking a couple of questions. Are you using the talk group to get in here, or an XLX reflector, or do you use the DMR gateway to access the XLX reflectors in your DMR system? So anyway, there's a couple of questions there that you might be able to answer, and that's good. Anyway, go ahead, Peter. KD7MW.
Oh, good evening, Wayne, and good evening to Alan and Paul, who I've spoken to or texted on Facebook to before. Name is Peter. I'm in Shoreline, Washington, which is just north of Seattle. I'm coming in on a DMR radio at the moment. I have also fooled with XLX reflectors, which Alan told me about a couple of weeks ago. And the talk group is working fine. I didn't try the XLX reflector for this group yet. I, at the moment, have a DMR radio. I have an Anytone 878. I also picked up on a kind of a fire sale a little ICOM 31A, which I can use with my Zoom hotspot to do D-Star. I'm kind of new to all this, but I've been learning a lot. My head's about to explode. As to the question on Pi-Star, the answer right now is that Pi-Star can translate between DMR and Yaesu Fusion. I believe it can also translate between DMR and a couple of the more esoteric modes, P25 and the one that begins with N. Don't quote me on that, but I'm not looking at my hotspot at the moment. But the interesting thing is that D-Star's codec, audio codec, is very, very different. So that's why Yaesu Fusion to DMR is actually very easy to code. I'm going to let it drop for a second. And so that can actually be done within the Pi-Star, but it simply does not have enough horsepower, the Pi-Star, to do translation between the D-Star mode and the DMR and other related modes. So that's the problem with that. So basically, when you get on an XLX reflector, if they have a translation box wired in or connected in somehow, that box can do the translation between DMR and D-Star, but it has to be specifically there. And then, of course, you're limited to whatever reflectors or talk groups the XLX is connected to. So, yes, we can connect anything to anything, but there are provisos, and that's, I think, the cause of confusion. I didn't realize quite the complexity of the intermode stuff until I bantered about with Alan and Paul a bit and then did a bunch of midnight reading. So, that's my story, and I'll take it back to Nat. This is KD7 Mike Whiskey.
Kilo Tango Echo listening.
Problem. Anyway, we're going to try that Israel station, that Tel Aviv station again. 4X1 VL. Are you still listening here? VE3 WWM. No, not hearing him now. So we're going to go down to VK3 TBS Ben. And how are you doing this morning, Ben? Down there in Australia. I have to think of where you are, so I can say morning or night, because most cases it's night. But anyway, go ahead, Ben. VK3 TBS VE3 WWM net control.
Hey Wayne, lovely to hear you, mate. Thank you for running the net again. I just remembered, I'm not sure where we're off to next. You'll have to give us some of your notes so I can make sure I've got it in. Yes, it's 9:20 here, Tuesday morning, and the sun's up. Beautiful day it's going to be, I think, even though it's pretty well windy here. I'm coming through via Peanut, so I'm using the Reflector XLX 302D is how I'm coming through. Hope you can hear me fine, and hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to meeting you wherever it is on the next round. Good to hear Peter and a few of the others too. Thank you, mate. VE3 WWM, VK3 TDS. For 7 Kilo Tango Echo.
Okay, net control recognizes G7 KT. We got a VE3NY in here that was come in there ahead of you. So we'll go down to him. Thomas, how are you doing this evening? And if you got any the questions we were asking tonight, are you using a talk group or an XRX reflector you're coming in on, or do you use the DMR gateway to the XLX reflector? So in other words, if you're using a DMR radio, are you using that option? So that's good questions we're asking. So go ahead, Thomas, VE3 WWM. Not hearing Thomas. We'll go down to the next one. That's G7 KTE. Peter over in the UK. Do you want to? The questions we're asking is: are you coming in the talk group or through an XLX reflector? In other words, are you coming in on D-Star, or are you using a DMR gateway coming in on the XLX? So that's kind of the questions we're asking tonight, because those are options to get in here. So anyway, go ahead, Peter. VE3 WWM net control.
Yeah, okay there, Wayne. It's been a long time. Used to chat back along. Anyway, we're running a DMR here, hotspot with a TYT radio, and just hooking up with one or two Canadian friends that I've got over there, and it's just nice to be able to say hello to you again. So
from Peter down in Brixham in South Devon, in southwest coast of the UK. Wishing you all the best, and I'll probably hook up with you again on another one of your link-ups. G7KG, Golf 7 Kilo, Tango Echo. It's been a pleasure. G7KG.
Very good. Well, we're going to move on. We'll let this talk group go free here, so we're just going to move on here now. We are going over to Pennsylvania, which is XRF, DCS, or XLX 045A. 045A, or talk group 31425, or the YSF room 06864. Anyway, thanks for everybody that checked in on this part of our little traveling show net here. So we'll say 73 VE3WWM, net controller Wayne McLean, and we're going to move on. So we'll see you on the other side. Bye for now. Have yourself a good evening.